Snakes and scorpions have many enemies. Honey badgers, mongooses, hedgehogs, and some lizards hunt them. But it turns out that among the rivals of these dangerous creatures, there is even a mouse. Who is it? And what's it capable of? You'll find it out in this episode. Let's go. This is the super mouse that snakes and even scorpions are afraid of. Although it would be more honest to reveal the truth right away, it belongs to the family of chrysalids, or the hamster family. However, it's called the grasshopper mouse. It inhabits the territory from southern Canada to northern Mexico. The size of the rodent is small, only about 4 inches, and the weight's about 2 ounces. Snakes are much bigger, and scorpions too. But this fearless hamster doesn't care. It's ruthless, and very often this is experienced by scorpions. Being bold, agile, and cautious, the grasshopper mouse carefully sneaks up on a scorpion and quickly neutralizes it, after which it eats its prey. If a scorpion encounters this rodent, it's probably finished. It can sting it for all it's worth. The grasshopper mouse is invulnerable to venomous stings. Thanks to special cellular mechanics, the opponent's venom is simply neutralized in its body. In addition, the grasshopper mouse has a reaction time that's no worse than that of the mongoose, so it dodges attacks beautifully. The scorpion is inferior to it in all respects. The grasshopper mouse can defeat it even blindly, and this happens often. The eyes are the only vulnerable place that the scorpion can hit with its sting. In order not to be blinded in battle, these rodents close their eyes, navigate with the help of whiskers, and even blindly defeat scorpions. Things are not so epic with snakes. The super mouse does not hunt large snakes, they're simply too tough for them. But it can at least give them a hard time. Snakes will try to attack the hamster, but it will certainly dodge the attack. But as for small snakes, the grasshopper mouse can kill them in no time. These rodents are so powerful that they're even called wolves in the guise of a hamster, and that's for good reason. Not only do they kill their prey as ruthlessly as wolves, but they also howl at the moon. At times, these hamsters sit down, raise their heads, and make a high-pitched squeak for a couple of seconds with their mouths wide open. Why? It's how the hamsters communicate with their congeners. Howling is a way to warn all outsiders that the territory is occupied, and its owner will not tolerate intruders. And if the trespasser doesn't get away in time, it will not avoid a fight. I can tell a lot of interesting things about grasshopper mice, but I suggest leaving them alone and looking at other hamsters in general, and also at mice and rats. Keep watching to find out interesting and unusual facts about these 3 rodents that you'll like. To begin with, rats and mice have been living on our planet for a very long time. Scientists believe that the first progenitors of these rodents appeared about 48 million years ago, although some researchers believe that they appeared 55 million years ago. Either way, that's a long time. For comparison, we as the Homo sapiens species appeared only 300,000 years ago. However, domestic rodents appeared relatively recently, about 15,000 years ago, but that's another matter. Favorite food. What is the mouse's favorite food? I think you all answered cheese without hesitation. And indeed, in almost every cartoon or movie featuring mice, these rodents eat cheese. But as it turns out, mice are not such a fan of cheese. They're much more into sweets. They're especially fond of sugary foods like cereal and fruit. Mice also like sugar in its pure form, but cheese is rather atypical for them. It attracts them with its pungent and strong smell, but mice would not call it their favorite dish. The wrong image is formed because of the stereotype of a mousetrap with a piece of cheese inside, which the rodent will definitely want to eat. By the way, mousetraps are not the most effective means of controlling the rodents. This is because they're not as stupid as many people think. Mice will not go headlong into a mousetrap or other trap. Rather, they'll inspect the trap properly, study it, and be very cautious. It's possible that the mouse will not fall into the mousetrap, will realize that something is wrong here, and will simply run away. And rats have gone even further. They've learned not just to bypass, but to deactivate and eliminate traps, like this. Look at this rat. It saw the mousetrap, realized it would only find its death inside, and used a stick to remove the threat. and this rat deactivated the trap by throwing a rock at it. It looked like it detonated an anti-personnel mine. Well, that's impressive. On the other hand, rats are capable of much more than that because these rodents are among the most intelligent animals on the planet. They're no stranger to empathy. They're able to find a way out of complex mazes, as well as think abstractly. In addition, rats can truly express their emotions. They can even laugh. Yes, rats really can laugh. Moreover, scientists believe that rats are the only animals on the planet that laugh consciously along with humans. That is, they laugh or smile because of some positive emotions and something good. For example, they may giggle with their congeners. Rats are social animals, so spending time with their cage neighbors causes positive emotions in them. In addition to this, rats may smile when looking at their babies. Female rats are considered one of the most caring mothers in the animal world. They're very sensitive to their babies, so during periods of special emotion, one can notice a smile on the face of the young mother. Finally, you can make rats laugh by tickling them. They have the same reaction to tickling as humans. The only thing is that you can only hear the laughter of a rat with the help of special equipment, because when tickled, they make a high-frequency squeak which is not perceived by human ear. Pat. They say laughter makes you live longer. If this is true, then the next animal in this episode has obviously laughed a lot. Yes, it's not a rat but a mouse, but still. Let's imagine that all it did was laugh. After all, how else to explain that it recently set a record? A mouse called Pat became the oldest mouse in the world. Incredibly, he turned 10 years old this year. Considering that mice usually live 2 to 3 years, that is a phenomenal result. It's a lot even for a record, because the previous record holder, a mouse named Fritzy, lived just about 8 years. Pat is a Pacific pocket mouse. He lives at the San Diego Zoo. It seems that this zoo will now have even more visitors, as many will be curious to see the old rodent in person. Mice and rats take great care of their babies, and so do hamsters. But sometimes these thick-cheeked creatures surprise in a negative way. It's okay for them to eat their own offspring. But why do these cute rodents do such hellish things? Scientists have several versions. According to one of them, the mother may think that it will not feed its offspring, so in its opinion it would be better to get rid of it right now. According to the second version, hamsters decide to play Sparta. They only eat the weakest and sickest ones, leaving only the strongest offspring. Another version says that mothers eat babies if they're too young and don't feel the maternal instinct to kick in to take care of babies. There's another version. According to it, hamsters are often too exhausted after giving birth. They need nutrients, but they don't have the strength to take care of their babies. Which version do you like the most? Write in the comments or share your own. Storage. Many people have learned about hamsters eating offspring for the first time, but everyone knows that hamsters love to stuff food in their cheeks. But in fact, they don't really stuff their cheeks. Hamsters put supplies in their cheek pouches. Anatomically, they look really like pouches. See for yourself. In general, many rodents have these things. For example, gophers and chipmunks. But in hamsters, they're the most developed. Cheek pouches open on the inner surface of the cheeks, and they're designed to collect, store, and carry the collected food. Hamsters stuff food in these pouches to store and eat it later. At one time, they can hold food in their mouths weighing up to 20% of their body weight. By the way, there's a theory that the name hamster comes from the German word hamstern, which means to hoard. And lastly, let's get back to mice. You might say that humans and mice are very different creatures, and in many ways they are. However, mice and humans have much more in common than you might think. Our genomes match by about 80%. That's a lot. In addition, we have a similar DNA structure. The reproductive and nervous systems of these rodents are similar to human ones, and they also suffer from many human diseases such as cancer, diabetes, and even depression. All of this is extremely important, as mice are almost the main laboratory animals. Research on mice has helped to better understand both human physiology and the causes and treatments for many diseases. Without mice, organ transplants, IVF, the creation of most vaccines and drugs, and an understanding of the immune system would be difficult. These amazing rodents have already helped and saved us many times, and I'm sure will help mankind many more times. That's all, guys. Which animals do you like more? Mice, hamsters, or rats? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and see you later.